This is KCAL 9 News at noon. Live, local, late breaking.
All right, still ahead, how do those astronauts keep fit in space? A special guest from NASA joining us live to show us what it takes. We'll be right back. They call it Destination Station. NASA astronauts hosting a special event at the California Science Center and Exposition Park. The exhibit is going to show us what it's like to live, work, even eat in space. Raphael Grau is a deputy manager at the International Space Station, and he's come all the way to visit us from Houston. You're going to tell us what this is all about. Welcome, Raphael.
Thank you. So really honored to be here. We brought some breakfast,
food,
a snack, and dinner for you.
Okay, tell me about the exhibit before we get into the food and what the astronauts are eating. This is going on right now. It's already opened.
It's already open. Destination Station is over at the California Science Center, where you can come in and see what is life like in the space station, the science that we're doing on board that's going to benefit humanity, and really get to appreciate what the United States has been doing for the last 15 years. The station's been up there for 15 years. We've had people living there permanently for 13 years. It's really an amazing facility. Come on down and see us. This Saturday, the astronauts will be there to tell about their personal experience up in
Great
space.
Opportunity to show the kids and open up those career opportunities, maybe get them interested in becoming a NASA astronaut.
You bet.
And as you talked about some of the research that's going on, and it's not just NASA stuff. This benefits everything.
Yes.
Everyone, we're talking about aging, we're talking about health concerns, experiments going on right now.
Yes, one of the key areas is medicine. So we do protein crystal studies so that you can determine how viruses are gaining access to your cells. So we look at the protein crystals, which grow much larger and easier to understand. Japanese investigators have actually improved medicine against Duchenne's muscular dystrophy based on some of the findings there.
And we know they're dealing with zero gravity when they're up there in space, but they work out. Before we talk about what they eat, let's talk about how they stay in shape. I was surprised to find out that they actually have a treadmill on the space station.
So it's not much like different than the treadmills down here, other than you're bungee corded into the treadmill.
Right, because there's no resistance, right?
You would float off, right? So the astronauts actually train 2 hours a day or so to maintain their muscles and their bones. Because if you think about it, right now I'm working out. Gravity's pushing on my arm.
Right.
In space, they're just floating around.
You become a little
as a friend
mushy,
of mine says, the human body follows the calculus rule. If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
And of course, they've got to be in good physical condition when they come back to Earth. All right, let's try out some of this food right here. And you said this would be a typical menu for an astronaut a day in space.
So they actually, the astronauts will create a menu that goes over the span of a month. And so then it'll start repeating, and they're living there 4 to 6 months.
So it's important that the food has to be non-perishable. So that's why we get this nifty looking plastic package. What is that?
Mexican scrambled eggs.
Oh, of course it is. I was going to guess
which goes perfect because we don't use bread in space because it crumbles, and so it could get into circuitry and whatnot. So we actually use tortillas as our bread.
This is breakfast. And I noticed you have fresh fruit here. This would not make it to the space station.
So what we do is our ships that bring the food up, SpaceX here in California, Orbital Sciences in Virginia, we bring them a taste of home. Fresh fruits. Of course, it would be floating around in space, and they actually do some really neat tricks. But it really is important for the psychological support of the crew members to have a taste of home. So fresh fruits, fresh vegetables is always a great thing.
So whenever we make a delivery, we include.
But then,
they ask for other things, don't they? Nobody's asking for apples and oranges.
So they have to get candy-covered chocolate and peanuts.
Oh, yum, peanut M&Ms. What other sorts of things are the astronauts asking for?
So it depends on their nationality. The Japanese have brought sushi, the Russians bring their types of food. It's really interesting seeing how the astronauts have adapted their home cooking, if you will, to the space environment. Here's some apple cider. You can serve it cold or hot. You just put the water in, put your straw in, and
so they actually drink through a straw? It's not hooked into
You hook it up to the machine.
Okay.
So it'll fill it up with the water that you want, and then after that you put your straw in, because otherwise it would float around the station. Again, we don't want it getting anywhere that would cause any problems.
What little surprise do you have under here for us, Raphael?
Oh. So this is a pork chop.
Right out of the plastic bag.
Ta-da!
That's actually a pretty good portion. It looks like a normal pork chop.
And then you get some baked beans.
How old are these pork chops?
I don't know that the build date's on them. Don't worry, they're thermally stabilized. They're
Okay, so we're
perfect.
having pork chops and beans. Meanwhile, I'm going to play Sandra Bullock in Gravity. This is pretty cool.
So this is an astronaut EVA glove. This is probably a smaller size because I know my hand won't go in. But you see it's got some very specific rubber tips so you can grab things and move around. Extra guarded here so you don't scuff it and break because you want the air to stay in. Really amazing technology.
Great, and again, we can learn all about this at the California Science Center.
You bet.
The exhibit's going on right now. The astronauts will be out there Saturday.
Yes, please come on by.
All right, Raphael, thank you so
Our
much.
pleasure.
For more information about the space station at the Science Center exhibit, just go to KCAL9.com. You can click Seen on TV.